What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Today I'm going to bring you guys along with like my active recovery day, kind of bring you guys throughout the day with me. And so I have actually 2 recovery days during the week. The other days I do intense CrossFit, obviously, if you guys have been following my channel for a while. So Sunday is a full recovery day for me, and Thursdays I like to keep as like an active recovery day. Sometimes I switch, but most of the time active recovery day is on Thursday for me. Active recovery day is actually really important. I like to just kind of like step out of the gym because doing CrossFit can be very intense sometimes and mentally draining a little bit because you're constantly trying to figure out your workouts and things like that, long story short. So on my active recovery days, I like to definitely get in a lot of stretching and mobility, especially since my injury. I really need to get that mobility and stretching back because I need to prevent that injury from happening again, and strengthening and stretching the little muscles that are there. So I definitely do a lot of yoga and stretching on these days. And then I also like to do like long walks or sometimes short runs. I like to keep a little bit of cardio in there. You do need a break from the gym. Sometimes you do need to step out of that space, especially when you spend a lot of time there. And it's almost like having a day off from your job kind of thing. You know, you have your days off from the job, it's the same thing, kind of thing like that. So I know this isn't necessarily for everyone. I know some people are watching this going, well, I don't do intense CrossFit. I don't need to have an active recovery day. This is just actually probably good for a mental reset for you too. I'm going to share some tips throughout this video, so just obviously keep watching. But this is also good just to reset your mind, whether you're at work and you're stressed out at work, or you're just going to the gym and you just don't want to go to the gym. This is kind of like a nice little option, another option that you guys can do if you guys just want to kind of mentally reset and just kind of, you know, mentally come back and just chill out for a day. We all vary, we all have different schedules, and we all have different things, but I think that this is good to maybe show you guys what my active recovery days look like, and maybe this will give you guys some tips if you just want to mentally reset and just reset your body a little bit and not necessarily go to the gym. Anyways, without further ado, let's get on with the video and let's eat some breakfast.
When I walk into the kitchen, you saw the look on my face, you saw the look on my heart to get out of this place. I seen something I've never seen before. When you put on the pineapple, we couldn't be friends anymore. Pineapple thousands, go on pizza. It's a fruit and you know that. Pineapple doesn't go on pizza.
This morning we have a gorgeous acai bowl. Unfortunately, it's a little liquidy, but that's okay. I just put some hemp seed, some chia seed, and some hippie mix that I get at Bulk Barn. That's pretty much it. And then I also put on some agave nectar, and that's what we got. It's a little liquidy, but that's okay. Alright guys, so it's actually a bit later now. I went to work, did some work, and now I'm home, and there's currently like a little lull in the rain. Like there's not like a heavy downpour right now. So I'm actually gonna go for a quick run. I'm probably gonna do like a couple kilometers here just to get my body moving. That's really the whole point of an active recovery day, is just to get your body moving a little bit, just lessen the volume, lessen the intensity, and just go for like a little run. If running is a lot for you, then just go for a walk, kind of thing like that. So usually, like I said before, I switch in between running and walking. So I do a short run or a long walk. So today it's gonna be a short run because if I did a long walk, I'd probably get downpoured on and soaking wet. So I'm gonna get a little wet, but I can still get in a nice quick run. Alright, I am back. As you guys can tell, my face is red like a tomato. I'm back from my run. Running is not easy for me. I ended up cutting it just a little short, like a block shorter than normal, because my back was acting up. Sometimes when I run, my back acts up, so I don't push through it. I used to be the type of person who pushed through my injuries and kind of just push through the pain, but I've realized that it's definitely not worth it, not worth pushing through the pain, because you just end up hurting yourself more. I still got to run in. I'm still happy about that. I did about 15 minutes, which is okay. Nothing too extravagant, nothing too special. I'm not a runner, so running longer distances for longer time is actually putting up my volume because I'm not a good runner. I really suck. So I just keep it around 10 to 15 minutes. Anyways, I'm so sweaty. My head is soaked a little bit. I'm also soaked from the minor rain that was falling. But I'm gonna go make myself lunch and then we will soon do some stretching and mobility and all that jazz. Okay, so I am on my yoga mat that you cannot see, and we're gonna work on mobility and stretching and all that jazz. Literally, that is my main focus of today, is to get my mobility going and my stretching. I do a little bit of mobility and stretching each session, but especially on my rest days, I like to do yoga and mobility and really get in there kind of thing like that and get those muscles stretched. It's more important to take some time to just do some easy, less high intense volume, as I said before. So what I like to do is actually start with 10 to 20 minutes of yoga. I choose an easy flow off of YouTube, something that's not too intense, kind of gets you chilled out. This is also a great time for your mental zen. So really just meditating almost. Yoga can be almost like a meditation. I know a lot of people zone out when you say meditation, but it's really just to, you know, chill your breathing out. Get in deep breaths, especially for me personally. When I work out, I tend to not breathe properly. I don't breathe in and out when I should be. I like to hold my breath. Don't ask me why, I just do. Anyway, so this is a good time to actually practice my breathing, practice with breathing with movements and things like that, and that does help me a lot in my CrossFit. So that's what I start my thing with, is just like a little bit of a meditation and yoga and just like a chilled form of stretching. And then after that, I move into more my mobility stuff, and I have my 3 things here. I have my foam roller and my 2 balls that I roll on, and it's just really to get into my muscles, to focus on the areas that I need to focus on. I need to focus on the bottoms of my feet, so especially after running I get really tight feet, so I'd like to take this guy. If you have tight feet in general and you're always on your feet, this is a really good thing. Just get a hard ball or get like a tennis ball or something and just roll your feet on it. It does release the muscles in your feet and it just makes you feel a lot better. So I need to focus on my feet, especially because we did a run today. I also need to work on my hamstrings. Your girls' hamstrings are so bad. My hamstrings are like embarrassingly bad, and I've always had really bad hamstrings no matter what. I did cheerleading for years and my hamstrings never got better. I just have a hard time with my hamstrings. They're constantly so tight. I have really thick, dense muscles, so I find my flexibility really sucks. And then obviously going up from there, I have to stretch out my back. I have a really tight back. My muscles are very tight. My muscles react quite a bit to everything, so anything I do, my muscles react and they clench up really fast. So it's very important that I stretch out my back muscles and really loosen them and get in there with these balls and just really get my flexibility back, especially my upper back. So when I'm doing snatches or overhead squats, I have that flexibility there, and it's really just to get into those muscles. With my injury, I really need to focus on loosening those muscles, because when they're tight, it does really affect my injury and my recovery. So it's very important that I focus on stretching those out and stretching out my hamstrings. I also have issues from my injury with nerves, so a lot of nerves that go down my legs. It's very important for me to stretch those out during the day as well, to make sure that I'm getting mobility in my nerves so that I don't have permanent nerve damage and all that fun stuff. So that's really my focus on my body, is working on the bottoms of my feet, my hamstrings, and my back. Other than that, I'm gonna do some stretching through my yoga and stuff like that. But after my yoga, those are the 3 things that I concentrate on. So let's get started and stop rambling. Alright, so I'm currently making myself supper right now. I'm making my classic tofu scramble. If you guys have seen my What I Eat in the Days, I've made this like many times before. It is delicious, of course. If you guys want to check it out, if you have not seen my What I Eat in the Days, I have a whole playlist on my channel that you guys can check out. Anyway, so that is what I'm having for supper. I want to kind of like quickly touch on nutrition on my rest days. So rest days are kind of hard for me because a lot of times I tend to stay home for most of my rest days. So I'm like literally in the house for most of the time. That is why I like to go for a run or a walk, because it does take me out of the house a little bit. So of course, for me, a downfall for me when it comes to my nutrition is that I love to snack. I love to just like grab things out of the cupboard every once in a while and just snack constantly throughout the day. On my rest days, it's very important for me to not just spend the whole day snacking, because then it kind of really just sets me off track. So what I like to try and do is really kind of stay true to what I normally do. Try and eat 3 big meals and have, you know, a couple snacks throughout the day, nothing too big. I do kind of try and eat as clean as possible. It's more like intuitive eating, I guess you can say, like the trendy kind of thing. And then I do also have, you know, some treats here and there. I've shown that on my channel before, that I like to have treats, but I also like to keep my nutrition as high as possible, obviously. And so on my active rest days, even though I'm home a lot, I try and avoid snacking. I'll try and not come into the kitchen as much as possible, just because I just know as soon as I come into the kitchen, I'm going to want to snack. I just try and be more conscious of that on my active rest days. And really, it's all about discovering your habits. So for me, like I said, I noticed that I like to snack a lot, especially when I'm home a lot. So like I said, I'll try and stay out of the kitchen as much as possible because I know I'll just snack. So it's just discovering little habits that you guys do, just being a little more conscious on what you guys eat and what you guys put into your body. A lot of us, when we snack, we don't realize how much we're snacking. We're just like, oh, we'll have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then we're constantly putting things in our body. So I just try and be a little more conscious about that. So I thought I'd just touch on that. And of course, I try and stay as hydrated as much as possible throughout the day. I try and keep my water intake as high as I normally would when I'm working out. When you're working out, you're obviously more thirsty and you crave water more. So of course, on active rest days, you don't crave the water as much, but I do try and keep my body hydrated. It's good to keep your body hydrated. Water is good for your body. We all know that. I try and keep my water intake similar to the days of when I'm working out. So I'm not changing my nutrition or my things like that too much when I go on active rest days. I do consume a little less because I am not working out and I'm not as hungry. My meals are just a little bit smaller than normal, but not significantly, and that's pretty much it. I'm actually gonna end off the video here. I think I've told you guys everything that I do. It's a really easygoing day. I just want to get my body moving a little bit, keep my nutrition very similar, and all that jazz. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, give it a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. We're almost at 800 subscribers, which is pretty awesome. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Summer days burn me out, love just brings me down. Cold inside like winter leaves that slowly leave the ground. Hey, you come back, I wanna give you a chance. Love me like you used to, so we can learn again. The skin is getting brown, baby, drink your night.